Local support for a portion of today's programming is provided by Wells Fargo. Our support of Aggie students goes beyond just banking. By supporting NEWS22, we're giving back to the community. Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far.
Tonight on NEWS22, President Trump addresses Congress for the first time as president.
The New Mexico legislature is considering requiring solar panels on state buildings.
And New Mexico's recreational marijuana bill has hit another barrier.
All that and more on NEWS22 Wednesday.
Serving southern New Mexico, this is the award-winning KRWG-TV NEWS22, where news matters.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Raquel Andujo.
And I'm Mike Vigil. Protests continue to be a daily fixture across the country and here in Las Cruces.
Another one was held today at the Corbett Center on campus. The protest was called Student Resist. It was organized by David Bourget, a business professor at NMSU. He and some students spoke about issues facing the university and the nation.
Las Cruces Public School District, if they're all in favor of a sanctuary, why isn't this university? We're a Hispanic serving university, am I right? Mm-hmm. And that's our reputation, that's our niche in the market. We're right on near the border, you know. Let's get real.
Bourget says he and others plan more demonstrations in the future.
A local organization called Know Your Rights is trying to ease the fears of some NMSU students. This in response to new immigration policies. The group will host a conference to inform students of their rights. Now, police officials and NMSU staff will be on hand to answer questions, and they say all students are welcome, regardless of immigration status, race, sexuality, or religion. It'll take place next Thursday in the Senate Gallery at Corbett Center.
Women are also getting into the act. Next Wednesday, March 8th, is International Women's Day. It's when women and their allies will act together for equity, justice, and the human rights of women and all gender-oppressed people. Here in Las Cruces, there will be a gathering with a picnic atmosphere. There will be food trucks and a dance. It'll be at 3201 Harrelson Street, and it'll start at 5 p.m.
And last night was the first time President Donald Trump addressed members of Congress since taking office.
Some talking points included issues like Obamacare and raising questions about immigration. Karen Kaifa has more.
President Trump embracing congressional Republicans' plan on Obamacare.
But it must be the plan they want, not the plan forced on them by our government.
Quelling fears with his endorsement.
He articulated exactly the response that we're working on that we all believe is necessary to repeal and replace Obamacare with a much better system.
The president also signaling that he might be open to compromise on immigration.
I believe that real and positive immigration reform is possible.
Before his speech, Trump telling reporters he is open to granting legal status but not citizenship to millions of undocumented immigrants if they paid taxes without a serious criminal record. Some Republican lawmakers are expressing concern with the president's change of tune on the issue.
I don't support amnesty. I'm going to wait till we see specific legislative proposals. I think that's the responsible thing to do.
Trump's agenda also includes massive spending hikes in areas like defense and infrastructure.
To launch our national rebuilding, I will be asking Congress to approve legislation that produces a $1 trillion investment in infrastructure of the United States.
Plans that come with a large price tag, and when coupled with other expensive promises like a border wall and adding in the president's call for sweeping tax cuts, lawmakers from both parties wondering where will the money come from.
Everything's got to be paid for around here, otherwise you're, borrowing the money from China.
The next step, getting Congress to move on all of it. In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
Senator Tom Udall says that he agrees with the confirmation of the new Department of Interior Secretary. He joined the majority in confirming Montana Congressman Ryan Zink. Udall, who sits on the Interior Environment Related Agencies Committee, says he mostly agrees with Zink's stances, but in a statement, he said he'll stand up for our water, land, and landscapes if he needs to. Udall went on to say that he disagrees with the Trump administration's early actions on tribal land and water. And thankfully, yesterday's winds are gone out of the way.
Right, and this evening we have Presley with the weather.
Now let's take a look at our current conditions. Tonight we're looking at skies mostly cloudy with a temperature of 56 degrees. Winds are coming from the north at 5 miles per hour with a humidity of 21%, the dew point at 16 degrees, and the barometer sits at 30.15 inches. Our high today was 61 degrees and our low was 32 degrees, a little below average at 67. Our record temperatures are 81 with a high of 81 degrees back in 2008 and a low of 19 degrees back in 1971. We still haven't had any rainfall today, so our yearly rainfall sits at 2.13 inches. And that's all I have for your current conditions. Now back to the desk.
The state of New Mexico is taking its own measures towards cleaner energy sources. The Senate approved a bill that requires the state to use renewable energy resources like solar panels on all 750 of its buildings. The bill will stand as long as a net savings is provided and it doesn't require upfront costs. Albuquerque, Santa Fe, and Las Cruces have already taken similar measures. The cities recently expanded their use of solar energy on government buildings. Now the bill will now go to the House for another vote.
New Mexico's status on recreational marijuana won't be changing anytime soon. House Bill 89 to legalize recreational marijuana died in the House on Monday evening. Along with this also went hopes of the use of hemp products. Bill sponsor Bill McCamley says that this is just reefer madness, even though it has worked in other states. McCamley said it is estimated that legalization could create 11,000 new jobs in the first year and add more than $44 million to the state.
The New Mexico legislature is giving most of its attention to the state budget.
But there was one bill that proposes a big change in the way the state treats coyotes. NEWS22's Savannah Hernandez has more.
Coyotes are one of the most iconic animals of the Southwest, but man has declared war on them. They are considered a pest, and for decades the federal government has had an active program to wipe them out. That's bad enough, but Kevin Bixby with the Southwest Environmental Center has been promoting a bill to put an end to yet another harmful practice, coyote killing contests. Bixby estimates more than 30 competitions take place every year in New Mexico alone.
If the bill passes and it's signed into law, it would make it illegal throughout New Mexico to hold organized events in which the object is to kill animals for prizes or enjoyment.
He became convinced he had to stop these contests when he was hiking the West Mesa of Las Cruces back in December of 2014, and he came upon the carcasses of 39 dead coyotes.
These are events in which the object is to kill animals for no purpose except to win a prize. And that's just wrong.
Along with the campaign petition, during the spring of 2014, Bixby also helped with the protest against an organization called Predator Masters that tried to sponsor a coyote killing competition here in Las Cruces. Advocates of wildlife killing contests often say that such events are needed to manage wildlife to prevent overpopulation, protect livestock, or increase game animals. However, Bixby shares that science does not support these claims.
All species of wildlife play a role in the functioning of healthy ecosystems. So you can't just take one species out and expect there not to be an effect.
This is the 6th year he's been pushing the bill, and right now it is in several legislative committees. And he hopes that after all these years, this will be the time that it finally passes. Savannah Hernandez, NEWS22.
The Doña Ana County Clerk's Office is going through a voter purge. People who have physically moved before 2014 and have not voted will be put on the removal list. The Doña Ana County Clerk, Scott A. Kraling, says that the purging is required by federal and state law and is repeated every 2 years.
We have about 9,000 names, and so that, again, that's all people who we've been notified have moved, and none of them have voted since 2014.
The fountain that is the jewel of Plaza de las Cruces is no longer running. City officials said preparations and improvements will be made to the fountain, but its lights will continue to stay on at night. The fountain will reopen once improvements are made. Until then, it will remain closed until further notice.
New Mexico at one time had the spirited Route 66 running right through it. Now, one central New Mexico town wants to build a wall in honor of it. According to KRQE in Albuquerque, the town of Cedillo wants to build a commemorative wall out of old license plates. Cedillo is looking for turquoise and yellow plates. The wall will be next to a gas station that was built in the 1940s. The project is one of many efforts aimed at revitalizing areas along Route 66. The New Mexico Motor Vehicle Division will be donating some plates as well. And stay tuned because Presley will be back with your national forecast.
And later, new moms aren't the only ones getting the baby blues. Find out more when News 22 continues.
At a recent KRWG coffee visit, we talked with KRWG fans about why they value public media.
And the opportunity for people to call in and share their views is really valuable and an important part of community building.
My entire time in Las Cruces, I have been a PBS NPR girl.
I want everybody to be able to hear all the programs that I enjoy.
The best in radio, television, and online programming is only possible with your support. Become a member online at krwg.org or call 1-888-922-5794. Thank you.
The KRWG TV public file is available to the public at 2915 McPhee Circle, Milton Hall, Room 117, on the campus of New Mexico State University. Regular business hours are from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. Files are also available online at stations.fcc.gov.
And welcome back. You're watching News 22 Wednesday,
where news matters.
Pregnancy can be an exciting time for new parents, but along with the anticipation are some moments of uncertainty.
And while most couples focus on making sure the mother-to-be is happy, it turns out new dads can get the baby blues too. Kim Hutcherson has more in today's Health Minute.
When you hear about the baby blues, you typically think of new moms, but research suggests new dads can suffer from depression too. A 2009-2010 study done in New Zealand found depression rates among men almost doubled between the third trimester of their partner's pregnancy and the baby's birth. In a 2015 study published in the American Journal of Men's Health, more than 13% of first-time dads showed elevated levels of depressive symptoms during the third trimester. And if a father suffers from pre- or postnatal depression, it can affect both the mother and the baby. So what can you do? Try to get enough sleep leading up to and after the baby's birth. If you have a history of mental health issues or show signs of depression, you can be assessed for paternal postnatal depression. And remember, if you find yourself in difficult family or work situations after the baby is born, never be afraid to ask for help. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
An uncommon blood disease has caught the attention of New Mexico lawmakers. Today, the state's U.S. senators said they are introducing a new bill to combat cavernous cerebral malformations, or CCM. It would increase research, education, and treatment for the disease. CCM is known to impact the brain and its spinal cord. It's more common in New Mexico Hispanics than any other group. Right now, there is no cure for CCM because of the lack of research. And one Texas sheriff says millions of dollars are on the line because he's being forced to detain undocumented immigrants.
Bill Barajas has more on the story.
Tough decisions are made in this office every day. The latest one, no different.
The fact is that money is vital to what we do here to protect and serve. And again, whether I agree with the detainers or not, the taxpayers didn't put me here to act on my own emotions or my own opinions. They put me here to keep Bexar County residents safe.
Sheriff Javier Salazar is complying with the feds by continuing to detain undocumented immigrants in his jail only if they're flagged by ICE. It's happened twice in recent weeks. Both immigrants were arrested for possession of marijuana.
Once somebody finds their way into the jail by some other means, some other mechanism, we're complying with federal mandates. However, we are not proactively going out into the community, and in fact, I want to reassure the community that if you need us, we're here.
Salazar says had he decided not to cooperate, it would have come at the expense of the county. He claims the governor's office would cut $9 million worth of grant money.
We need this money. We rely upon this money to protect and serve our community in the best way that we see fit against things like human trafficking, sexual assault, DWI, Tobacco use by minors. There's veterans programs tied into this.
Once the money is gone, the programs would no longer exist.
And there's really no way to replenish it, to my understanding. Knowing that people are going to be put in jeopardy, physically put in jeopardy by this, that's not a risk I'm willing to take.
And Presley's next with weather.gov national forecast.
Welcome back. Now let's take a look at our national forecast. So we're looking at Los Angeles at 74 degrees, Salt Lake City at 41 degrees, Denver at 47 degrees, 52 for Kansas City, 66 for Dallas, and 86 for Tampa. Now on to our next map. We are looking at the northwest part of the country, and as you can see, there is a lot of snow and rain. There is going to be a mixture of both, and will be very rainy around Portland and Sacramento. So if you are traveling around this area, be careful of slippery roads so that you can have a safe travel. On to our next map, we are looking at colder air over the northeastern and north central parts of the country. The temperature was 5 to 10 degrees above average in February, so it will get a little colder. As you can see, the wind will go down by New York, and we will be expecting maybe some rain and snow opportunities. That's all I have for your national forecast. We'll be right after the break. I'll be back with your local weather.
Welcome to an exciting new season of New Scandinavian Cooking,
the international cooking series that explores Scandinavian cuisine, culture, and history.
Thursday at 2:30 p.m. on KRWG.
On Africa's great civilizations.
Europe's exploration of the Americas ignites a race for riches that turns the world upside down. This new world becomes synonymous with trade. Empires rise and fall during this time of seismic global change.
Thursday at 8 p.m. on KRWG TV.
All cast to places.
Lynn didn't say I was writing a show. Lynn said I'm writing a song.
I worked on it for about a year.
When you told us, I'm going to do a rap about Alexander Hamilton, we said, well, good luck with that, right?
Our show opened on Tuesday and the world blew up.
I have more than once compared Lynn to Shakespeare.
I knew that Hamilton was going to change my life.
Hamilton is somewhere going, thank you.
Friday at 8 p.m. on KRWG TV.
Now let's look at our local temperatures around the state. At Farmington, we're looking at 35 degrees, Santa Fe 40 degrees, Gallup 32 degrees, Albuquerque 46, Clovis 45, Socorro 52, and Deming 54. Tomorrow we're looking at Farmington 50 degrees, Santa Fe 50 degrees, Gallup 51, Albuquerque 57, Clovis 61, Socorro 60, and Deming at 65 degrees. In Alamogordo tonight, we're looking at clear skies with a low of 50 degrees. Tomorrow, we're looking at a high of 65 with sunny skies. Tonight, and Truth or Consequences, we're looking at a clear sky with 56 degrees. Tomorrow, it'll be a high of 65 degrees with sunny skies. In Silver City, tonight, we're looking at a low of 45 degrees with clear skies, and tomorrow, a high of 59 degrees with sunny skies. In Las Cruces tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy with a low of 56 degrees, and tomorrow we're looking at a high of 65 degrees and mostly sunny. Now that's all I have for your local weather. Now back to the desk.
Two Houston police officers are recovering after being shot responding to a burglary.
That's the first story in tonight's Southwest Minute.
The commotion started when officers checked on a burglary in progress. When they investigated an open shed in the yard, a man stepped out and opened fire. The officers returned fire and killed the gunman. One officer was shot several times and is in critical condition. The other officer was shot in the foot and leg and is in stable condition. A Nevada man faced a judge Tuesday accused of strangling the pregnant mother of his 2 children. Police say a carpenter found the woman's body in a vacant apartment. There is still no word on the motive. The suspect is expected to be in court next week. And police have arrested a suspected carjacker who led them on a car chase in Los Angeles. The slow-speed chase lasted more than 2 hours in South LA this morning. Police tried to stop the car with spike strips, but it took a while before the suspect pulled over. A SWAT team took the suspect into custody. With today's Southwest Minute, I'm Javier Gutierrez.
Big game tonight for the Aggie softball team.
Yeah, and here to tell us more about their game with UTEP is Whitley Newberry with sports.
Thanks, guys. Coming up in sports, the softball team is taking on UTEP, and the El Paso Chihuahuas are feeling the 80s. Don't go too far because NEWS22 Sports is next.
Well, it's been quite a while since our last public television special, so I decided it was time to come back home again for this very special concert. We'll have some new songs, lots of old favourites. I'm Daniel O'Donnell, and I hope I'll see you soon as we come back home again for this special concert on public television.
Saturday at 4 p.m. on KRWG TV.
Are you tired? Packing on the pounds? Finding it hard to get out of bed? Don't worry, Dr. Neil Barnard has developed a simple, easy-to-follow plan for boundless energy and healthy weight loss just for you.
By making simple adjustments, you can turn everything around. You can get your weight down and get your energy up.
Unlock your best self ever with the Energy Weight Loss Solution.
Saturday at 1 p.m. on KRWG TV.
This is KRWG-TV NEWS22 Sports.
Welcome back. I'm Whitley Newberry, and let's talk sports. Right now, the NMSU softball team is battling it out with their rivals from the South, UTEP. The score is tied 0-0 in the third inning. The Aggies are looking to snap their 8-game losing streak. You can head over to the softball complex to catch them in action. Most people assume every race car has a driver. Well, that might not be the case in the future. Meet the RoboCar. It has a very powerful car that has 500 horses under the hood. That means they create G-forces so strong that no human could withstand driving the car. The difference between cars with a driver and without a driver are the algorithms that program these cars. Each RoboCar costs over $1 million to build. The Aggies baseball team is licking their wounds after a tough loss against Arizona State yesterday. The Aggies traveled to Tempe and came up short 12-5 against the Sun Devils. They are now 6-4 on the season. They are looking forward to a 4-game series this weekend against Yale. This series will start on Friday at 6 p.m. at Presley Askew Field. The El Paso Chihuahuas are feeling the 80s. El Paso will be repping a retro look as the 1987 El Paso Diablos. They will be bringing in the red pinstripes and a simple text cap from 30 years ago. Diablo Days will be held every Wednesday of the regular season except June 14th. In '87, the Diablos were a Double-A affiliate of the Milwaukee Brewers. T-shirts featuring the Diablos logo are already in stock at the Chihuahuas team store. Hats and jerseys are slated to land in March. Tickets for Diablo Days can be purchased starting this Saturday, March 4th. The New Mexico State women's track and field is all smiles after a successful weekend at the WAC Indoor Championships. They finished third at the WAC Indoors in Boise, Idaho. Several Aggies won their events. Chrissy Amberg won the mile with a time of 4 minutes and 54 seconds, while freshman sprinter Lashira Tremble won the 60-meter dash with a time of 7.6 seconds. Tremble was also named the WAC Freshman of the Year, while Amberg won the Outstanding Track Performer Award. The outdoor season is scheduled to begin on March 17th when the Aggies travel to Tucson for the Willie Williams Classic. Today's play of the day is brought to you by John Wall of the Washington Wizards. Check out this awesome slam dunk.
Wall goes all the way. Left-handed flush for the Wall star. Timeout, Steve Kerr.
John Wall takes it home.
You see Sean Livingston chasing Wall.
And that's all for sports tonight. Join us for more sports action tomorrow. Still ahead on News 22, Presley will be back to take a look at your 5-day forecast. But first, the popular toy company Lego is looking to diversify their universe. Find out more when News 22 returns.
I found out I had diabetes and it was an absolute shock.
I was diagnosed as pre-diabetic. My sugar level was out of kilter.
Bring your fingertips over to the left. If someone's been diagnosed as pre-diabetic, it's really important to start a yoga program because it's not too late. Namaste.
Saturday morning at 9 on KRWG TV.
Meditation is a simple to learn and beneficial skill that everyone can use. Join author and meditation expert Stephen Bodian to learn just how easy it is to make meditation part of your revitalized life, improved sleep, reduced stress, and so many other health benefits, all verified by modern neuroscience. Please join us for Meditation for All of Us with Stephen Bodian.
Saturday at 5:30 p.m. on KRWG TV.
And welcome back. Let's take a look at our top stories. President Donald Trump addressed members of Congress last night. Among other things, he talked about the hopes that immigration reform can be positive. We looked at one bill trying to make its way through the New Mexico legislature that would make organized hunting events illegal. And a recently proposed marijuana bill has died in state Congress.
Five women scientists will be immortalized as the newest Lego figures. The famous toy company revealed its Women of NASA set this week. It features women who played vital roles in the U.S. space program. The figures include Sally Ride, Nancy Grace Roman, and Mae Jemison. Also included are Margaret Hamilton and Katherine Johnson. This special set is expected to be released later on this year or early in 2018.
It's very cool. You get the nice toys, the classic toys, and a little bit of history with it too.
Right. I might have to pick up some of those for my little sister.
Might have to. What are the next 5 days looking like, Presley?
Let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. Tomorrow we're looking at sunny skies, about 65 degrees with a low of 36. On Friday, sunny skies again with a high of 63 degrees and a low of 38 degrees. Saturday, sunny as well with a high of 72 degrees and a low of 41 degrees. Sunday, we're looking at mostly sunny skies with a high of 75 and a low of 45. And on Monday, same with mostly sunny skies with a high of 71 and 38 degrees.
And that's all for News 22 Wednesday. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight.
We'll be back tomorrow with more news.
I'm Mike Vigil.
I'm Raquel Andujo.
And I'm Presley Rabord.
Good night.